Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Davo.
Hi, I'm your host, Iceman.
I'm your host, Chamber. Welcome to the Growers Not Yours podcast.
Woo!
GrubHub, Uber Eats, DoorDash. I'm probably missing something.
Favor.
All of you are a bunch of piece of shit
Postmates.
cocksuckers.
Postmates.
How the fuck-
That's fair.
How the are you going to charge, like, Davo and Chamber, if they order a fucking cheeseburger, it's like, what, $1.89 at McDonald's? And by the time they get that cheeseburger, one, it's ice fucking cold, and two, it costs them $27.35.
It is a bit much.
That's fucking ridiculous. I've been loving your fucking food for years, McDonald's, and y'all fucking do me wrong.
Well, it's not just McDonald's; it's those apps.
Burger, I know it's the apps,
Yeah, it's
Burger
the apps.
King, all y'all. It's all y'all, all this whole fucking conglomerate.
I mean, like, I order, you know, mainly I used to at least always order from like Domino's. They have
Right.
like a $3 or $4 delivery fee. That's reasonable. You know,
Yeah.
I'm buying like 2 or 3 pizzas. I'm spending like, you know, $25-$30.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Domino's actually went up in
But-
a delivery price, but I'm okay with that because, you know, hey, they got to make
But
their
you know,
money.
you're buying a $10-$12 pizza, and they're not charging you. Hey, you know, that pizza is gonna be, you know, an extra $25.
Yeah.
You're buying a fucking burger or a taco or whatever, and a drink, and the next thing you know, people who have fucking mortgage payments are paying less for their mortgage than they are for the fucking food that they just ordered.
I think so. Like, this is just to put it into perspective. My regular order from, let's say, Wendy's, because I go to Wendy's a lot. When I go there, I spend at least $22. Right, that's what I normally spend because I like to go all out when I go to Wendy's.
Is it just for you? Is it for you and like Courtney?
Now hold up. Now
It's
if you do
just for me.
hold up. Now
I mean, to be fair,
refresh that.
I you know, as a now almost former big guy, I trust me, I understand. I would do the same thing. Get like a fucking double baconator, the large fry, a large, you know, large frosty, you know, the extra large drink.
You might be disgusted
chili.
with my order, but
Yeah. Well, let me ask you something, Davo. Are you going straight there, or you're doing a DoorDash order?
well, I'm talking about. I literally just said, if you had fucking listened, is when I go there. So when I go there, I'm spending about
Excuse me, I'm
$22.
double checking, motherfucker. Damn.
Fuck you. All right.
Fuck
Anyway,
you.
bitch
Oh
ass
my
motherfucker. Anyway,
Scan him, dude. I swear I wanna
22.
throw a cleat at his head.
Do it. $22. Right.
Mhm.
$22 for what I do is a triple baconator with extra cheese and extra bacon. No baconator sauce because that shit's nasty. Then I do a large fry with baconator fries on the side, and then a large Dr. Pepper cherry. That's what I do every time. That's my order, right?
Mhm.
Phenomenal, love it. Cost me about $22, sometimes 20. You know, whatever. When I order that shit on DoorDash, it's at least $50, sometimes $55. It's insane. And like, I would get it. Like, I get that Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever I happen to be ordering it through needs to also be making money. I would happily just spend like an extra 15, right?
Mhm.
Like, if my order is $20, I'll gladly pay 35, right? Because I would figure $10 for the driver, $5 for the delivery fee. I'd be okay with that, right? But the fact that it goes up, because like, you look at it and it's like, your order was 22 something. And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, every item on DoorDash, the prices are jacked up. So like,
Oh yeah, that's.
Oh yeah.
that's-
yeah, they're jacked up a couple
That-
dollars for each item, if not like maybe like a couple 50
$1.89
cents.
cheeseburger from McDonald's is now like $6.50. When
Yeah.
you order it on like
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah,
apps.
and that's minus the tax, minus the delivery fee, minus everything. Like, you just pick it, and
Yeah.
that's the price of the item on the menu. Like, it's
Yeah.
insane. So like, not only do they
It's
jack up the
stupid.
prices on that, so my normal $22 order has jumped up to about 30 just in the actual order alone. And then they want to say that the delivery fee is like $5. Then they want to say a service fee is like another $3 or $4. The delivery fee is the service fee. Who are you trying to kid? The service is you delivering it.
The services, they gave you the convenience of ordering it on their bullshit app.
Yeah, so it's like $3.99 for a service fee, so there's $4. Then it's $5 for delivery fee, so that's $9. So now it says like if I want a tip, which for me, if you're making that trip, $10 is sufficient for a delivery driver. Normally when I order pizza from my local spot, it's like $10. You know, they're right down the street. $10 will help them a long way. That's at least what? Maybe like 3 gallons of gas at the very least. You only drove down the road. That's not bad. You know, for a $20 fucking order to give you $10. I'm generally nice to fucking delivery drivers. My whole family are delivery drivers and or waitresses and waiters. So I tend to be a little bit over, you know, I tip them more than usual because they deserve it, right? It's a lot of work. So, but like now my order it was 30. So like it was 22. It jumped up to 30 because they raised the price on every item. And now because of the service fee and the delivery fee, it's jumped up to 40. And now they want me to tip. But it's a tip on the 40. It's not a tip on the initial 20. So a tip for 15% on $40 is like what? Like another $8? Something like that? Yeah. Something like that? Maybe a little bit less? Like 5?
6?
It's like 6.
Yeah, like 5 or 6?
$6, $7.
Yeah. It would be like an extra $8. So now we're at 48. Right, and then tax. Then they just add tax, and then it's like another $3 or $4 for that. And it's like, what the fuck? And then it makes you, as the person who's wanting to get the food, as like I'm paying way over what I would normally pay for. I'm paying $50 for a $22 meal.
Walk or drive there at that point.
At that point, yeah. And like I'm gonna have to wait 45 fucking minutes for my order to get here anyway. But this is what has been pissing me off lately. I would go on like Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and I'd be scrolling, you know, naturally. And I saw a meme that was related to a DoorDash driver group, right? So it came up because, you know, I have another group that I'm a part of that's like DoorDash hacks, you know, or whatever, like just to see like what meals to order so it's not too expensive. But that one came up because it's a public group. And it said the dude who ordered his food didn't tip me, so this is what I'm doing. And it was a picture of his food with a bag open, pointed towards the AC with the AC on full blast. It's like you're deliberately making this dude's food cold on purpose because he didn't give you a tip. Can we please go back to the old ways of tipping? If you deliver the food fast and get it to my house in a sufficient amount of time, which is usually within an hour, almost every place is within an hour, at the very least, at least over here, right? Because this is Rhode Island. It takes 45 minutes to get from one end to the other. Within an hour, if you deliver my food, even quicker than that, I will then give you a tip based on your service. You should not be showing your employees what they're going to be getting for a tip because they're seeing that as I'm not going to work hard unless I get my tip. Which
even
is ridiculous.
When you do tip, they still think you should tip them even more. So if you put like a $2-3 tip on there, they're still getting fucking pissed off. Yeah, and it's like really like you're lucky you even get that. I mean, you should be appreciative of. I worked at a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, when I was in college for like off and on for like 5 years, and it was the same restaurant. And you know, and there we go through a little bit more. I worked in an Arby's, and this Arby's was more the traditional way. Like after you order your food, you have a seat. We bring it to you. We bring you napkins and all that other stuff. Like, you know, we had a little bit more oomph to our service than, you know, you just, you know,
wait at the counter.
We just call you and you get your stuff. We bring it to you and everything, because a lot of people that were eating at our restaurant were a lot of elderly people. So we felt it was just nicer, neater, and we did it like that. And they would tip us. And you know what I always did with the tips? I'd be like, no, thank you. I never took a tip. And then they go, oh, you're helping me out. I was like, no, man, it's just part of the job, because we didn't work for tips. Now, some people took the tips. I didn't personally. And then I said, if you want a tip, we have a charity thing. You just stick in the thing.
Right.
You just put a few bucks in the charity thing. And then my boss would be like, how come you never take tips? I'm like, well, like, I'm not a waiter. I just bring them their food. I thought that was just part of what we do. He's like, you can take the tip, but I don't do it.
Have you noticed, like, anywhere you go now, you get the receipt, or when you're paying for whatever, next thing you know, the screen pops up, would you like the tip? It's like, bitch,
that shit annoys the fuck out of me.
You're at the 7-Eleven or Wawa or Buc-ee's or whatever, and you're paying for your fucking bottle of Coke and bag of chips, and it's like, would you like the tip? It's like, no.
Yeah, no. Like, I came here, grabbed my food, put it through checkout. Why the fuck am I gonna... I did all the work. The only thing you did was provide the convenience that this store has happened to be here.
I personally think, even at fast food restaurants, I mean, I haven't seen it like at a Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King.
I'll tell you some dirty shit in a minute, though.
But I haven't seen it pop up on the little checkout screens or anything like that saying, would you like the tip? But unless you're at an actual restaurant, and I'm not talking, I don't mean like fine dining,
Yeah.
Like an Applebee's or Chili's or something.
Yeah, something simple.
If I'm at a restaurant where I got to go in and sit down and order, then yes, you get tipped.
It's suburban wealth restaurants. That's what I call them.
Yeah, so it's like you don't get
that's what they are
unless I mean, I don't know, with the exception being like I've done it where I've tipped before, like when I've gone to like Golden Corral.
Yeah.
For the servers that come around and like take the plates and bring me another drink and all that. I like, okay, they deserve something.
Yeah. Because of course.
But I'm sorry, fucking, big booty Debbie sitting behind the counter at McDonald's on her phone, like posting Snapchats and shit while, Chambers trying to get his chicken nuggets. Bitch, you don't deserve a fucking tip.
I know, right?
It's like, you want a tip? It's like, well, actually, no, you do deserve a tip. He's got a tip he can give you.
Yeah.
But it'll be when you're off the clock and back at his house.
But listen, I think the dirtiest thing that I've seen regarding all the DoorDash and the Uber Eats bullshit. So just humor me for a moment. When you order from a restaurant, right? Like, not through an app, not through nothing. When you call them, what do you expect when they deliver your food?
Speedy service and good, nice.
Yeah, and you expect
the correct order.
Yeah.
My food warm.
Yes.
And to get there, within, at least, 30, 45 minutes after I call.
But the biggest part is that the part that nobody really thinks of is that you always expect their driver. You don't expect anybody else to deliver your food. Their driver, their employee of their business. Oh, yeah. So I ordered Pizza Hut, and I fucking called them. Not on the app, called them. I was like, hey, want a large cheese, large mushroom? Me and my girlfriend gonna have a movie night, yada, yada, yada. Stuffed crust, the whole deal, right? Like, I haven't had Pizza Hut in a long time, so I just want to see how it is. By the way, trash. The only thing that's good about it is the goddamn stuffed crust. So
not fucking stuffed crust, bro.
No, the stuffed crust is good because you just dip it in. I asked them for cups of marinara, and you just dip it in the marinara. It's good like that. But
you don't have to order bread.
Anything. Listen, let's just clear the water. Anything with bread and cheese and marinara, I'm sold. But anyway, well, specifically melted cheese. But anyway, I called. I was like, okay, let me get a large cheese and a large mushroom. Simple order, stuffed crust. And I was like, okay, it'll be there within the hour. I said, okay, cool. All of a sudden, I get a text on my phone saying that DoorDash will be delivering your order. And I'm like, I called Pizza Hut. I didn't call DoorDash. What I found out is that there are certain businesses that don't pay their delivery drivers anymore and completely annex them and now just use DoorDash. So when you order, right? When you order and you give them your card information, they punch that card information into their DoorDash account and then deliver it through their business. So I'm still paying for the delivery fee. I'm still paying for all that other stuff. correct me if I'm wrong, but I only use DoorDash and Uber Eats if it is outside of the delivery. You know what I mean? Like, if it's too far for them to deliver, that's when I'll order it. Like, if I really want something and I haven't had it in a while and it's in a couple of cities over, then I use DoorDash to get it because I'm like, okay, it's worth it to pay the extra money because I want it and I don't live in that town anymore and I really want that food. But you're telling me that if I call up your business, you're going to put my card information into your DoorDash account and then order the food and have me pay all of these extra delivery fees when you're literally right down the fucking road. You're a pizza joint. Just deliver my food with the drivers that you had, and I'll tip your delivery driver. That's the shit that I miss about the old. Like, why are you doing that? And I know why, because it makes them more money.
Well, when it comes to places like Pizza Hut and shit, I miss the old school Pizza Huts where you'd go in.
The buffet. The best.
You go in, you sit down, you get those red fucking cups that they put on the table with the Coke.
Yes.
I don't give a shit. You could pour probably toilet water in one of those cups and it would taste 10 times better because it's in one of those red fucking cups.
Yeah. I don't know what it was about those motherfucking cups.
And they would bring you that hot, steamy pan of pizza on the fucking thing. Mm-hmm. They'd stick the spatula under there upside down and say, hey, just don't touch the pan. It's fucking hot because, it's one of those like cast iron fucking pans and shit.
Yeah, also, I don't know if y'all noticed, but some of these places doing hourly inflations for their food. Like Wendy's
that too.
That's another bullshit thing.
It's like judging of the business in the hour of the day, the food could be normal price or slightly cheaper or very expensive for no reason.
Motherfuckers, like during the day, between the hours of 11 and 1:30, probably the tops, is lunch.
Yeah.
If you're in a fucking restaurant or whatever, you're going to get your balls kicked in.
Yeah, that's a lunch rush.
I worked and ran a convenience store. And our store, if you were working during the day, you knew about 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We had tons of extra pizzas made. We had tons of hot dogs and everything else on the roller grill and whatnot. Because you'd have like all the people would show up there, lawn crews, people from like hospitals and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's on their lunch break.
Wants food.
Yeah.
And then in the evening, damn well, like between like 3 and like almost 7 o'clock, that's your rush hour at night.
Yeah.
People are going to stop in. They're going to want food. They're going to get beer and whatnot. It's
whatever. Yeah.
This is never going to fucking change.
Yeah.
So don't act surprised and be like,
it doesn't make any sense to me.
Suddenly we're getting more people or the same amount of people. I guess we'll charge $5 for the hot dog and $27 for a pizza.
I haven't even noticed a change though. Like, I know you were talking about it, but like, I haven't noticed the change at all. Like when I go to Wendy's, like no matter what time I order, my order's always been the same. At least when I go there. When I DoorDash it, it's always going to be expensive, of course.
When you go there, it's that hourly fluctuation. It depends on where you're at for the business.
But it's always the same over here. Maybe they just haven't adopted it over here yet.
Well, some places and areas they're not doing that.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
They're not doing it. It's just in certain cities and areas and stuff. Like, here's a good instance. At one point, Sony, whenever you bought a gift card or whatever, or a PlayStation Plus card or whatever, there wouldn't be taxes on it.
Okay.
You would just pay like whenever you buy a PlayStation Plus card, if it was $20, you paid $20. Now, some areas you go, they were taxing it where there was inflation on it. Now that inflation is changed in certain areas, like when I was in Louisiana, there was no inflation on the cards. So whenever I would get like a $20 PlayStation card or bought anything through the store, there was no tax. It cost exactly what it said. But when I moved back to Texas and I was buying stuff, they were taxing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But now that area is taxing it now. But Florida, I don't think is doing inflation taxes on Sony PlayStation cards right now. Maybe.
I've never seen anything like that happen.
Well, because I had it like when Darth Ashton bought me got me a month of Plus, it was $10 for Plus, just for a month. But when I used the card here, there was an inflation charge. So I was like, damn, I had to change my fucking address to a different location so I can get it for the non-inflation.
That sounds
That's
like
hilarious.
that sounds like some straight up communist bullshit right there.
Yeah, so I had to set my address to Florida so I could get the inflation. So I could get it without the inflation charge. So I could just pay the even $10.
Yeah.
And boom, I got my plus.
Can I still do that? Like if I just change the address on my account, will I not get the tax anymore?
Some areas, yeah, it depends on your area. Like I think you're like in that New York area over there in Rhode Island and everything. So y'all might get
that
the
whole
inflation.
New England area.
Yeah, the New England area. So
I don't know why everybody that doesn't know the East Coast doesn't just say New England. All of them are just like, you live in New York, right? And like, no. And I'll say, this is the one that pisses me off the most, and I think I can speak for every Rhode Islander here. I'll be like, oh, I live in Rhode Island. And they're like, you mean Long Island? And like, fucking no. Rhode Island.
I'll be real with you. I was excited to go to the New England area. I really was.
Yeah, it's great.
I was happy.
It's a shame you didn't get to see as much of it that I wanted to show you, but you'll be coming here again soon. Oh, did I tell you? I have good news. Oscar's coming here next month. I'm excited.
What? Oh, my boy's coming. Nice. Let's go. Papi Buyeyo. Papi Chulo's coming.
I honestly, I could just see here, like when someone says, like, "Oh, you live in Long Island." Yeah. You know the Batman meme?
Yeah.
Where saying something, he's getting bitch slapped. Yeah. Davos face on Batman. It's like, bitch, don't ever call me New York.
It's a back slap, I think. Isn't it a back slap? It's a back slap.
I don't know, but it's just the fact that I can just see you, Davo, just like forward slapping, back jab slapping, whatever. Just because, like, don't ever call me fucking New York.
Here's something I
love New York. Too. Look at my fucking hat. But I'm not New York.
Now, here's something neat. Comic book nerd shit, okay? I always thought as a kid, Gotham City was New York. But it's not.
Nope.
It's based off of, like, because Metropolis is the biggest city in their universe, which Superman protects.
And that's considered New York.
And I always thought Metropolis was New York. I always thought Gotham was New York. Apparently,
nope.
Because Metropolis in
Gotham is Jersey.
City,
okay, Gotham is fucking Jersey.
Shut up. Let me finish. Apparently, when I was researching this shit, Metropolis is New York,
Manhattan,
and it's all of New York. It's
I know, but it's focused on Manhattan, the tall ass buildings. You don't get that anywhere else in New York.
Well, yeah, but apparently all of Metropolis is the entire city of New York, except for New Jersey. And Gotham is Jersey.
Yeah.
So Gotham is that little gap right there.
So what's Staten Island?
Bloodhaven.
All right. That's fair. That's very fair.
So like, it's like...
What about Atlantic City?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay.
No, for real. There's a whole thing of the whole map is like set up a certain way, and like apparently Green Arrow was the protector of Star City. Now Star City, because I was like, isn't Star City supposed to be Seattle based? But apparently Star City is
supposed to be in the Midwest.
No,
apparently no. Star City is San Francisco, and so that's the area that Green Arrow protects. Is like the San Francisco area. Now, I could be wrong about this, but I think Central City is supposed to be like Washington, D.C. or something like that for the Flash. I could be wrong. I have to double check Central City. But, from what I know, that they're all supposed to be like areas like that. But I thought that was just neat when I researched it that Gotham City is Jersey. So this whole time I'm thinking Batman is to protect New York. No, he's protecting just shithole Jersey.
Yeah, you're literally just y'all are. Gotham City is like right next to Newark. That was what it'd be considered as, because it was always the hood, and then it was Newark right next to it, and Newark was always Italian mafia, which makes sense.
Well, yeah. So like
all of Jersey was. Let's be fair, but like the worst part was like what? It was Jersey City. It was
Trenton.
Trenton's pretty bad.
Well, hold up. You know how New Haven it? No, hold up. I'm wrong. Staten Island is
not like that.
Staten Island is not Bloodhaven. New Haven is Bloodhaven.
That makes sense. It's not New Haven, Connecticut, because New Haven is also Connecticut.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
Connecticut is literally right above it, so I mean that wouldn't.
Yeah, that would be where Nightwing protects. So New Haven, Connecticut. Yeah, New Haven would be.
No, I'm trying to think if Connecticut is above Jersey. I can't remember if it's above or if it's. It is above. It's above. Yeah, because Connecticut's like to the left of us.
I'm not sure about where it is, but that's the city that Nightwing would protect. Yeah. Because whenever Batman would need Nightwing would be in protecting Bloodhaven, and he's just a phone call away to jump over there and kick ass and take names.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and Nightwing needs to tell Bruce after a while. He'd be like, Nightwing, I need your help. You're like, God damn it, Bruce. Listen, I have my own shit to worry about here. You know, can you spend 5 minutes just dealing with the fucking Joker, or leave me alone? I got all this I got a fucking prison riot going on over here. You know, everybody from Blackgate is out.
Believe it or not, Batman never asks for Nightwing's help. Nightwing just like throws himself in there. He's like, oh, Dad needs help. I'm on the way. You know, it's just that whole thing. You know,
and you were complaining about pizza fucking showing up on here. Already, we're talking about Batman.
But anyway, all right, we'll drop the.
I mean, shit. We already brought up. I know we brought up pizza and everything from the beginning. It's this time around. I can blame myself because, you know, as I said, and I already know after this episode airs, we'll never get a sponsorship from any of the food ordering apps. Which,
apparently,
personally, I don't care. Fuck you, GrubHub. Fuck you, Uber Eats. Suck my balls, DoorDash.
All right,
Postmates, you can get it too. and
Postmates,
you know what?
Bend over and take it up your ass.
Honestly, though, we're not hating on you. We're just hating on the people that.
No, fuck that. I'm hating on them. I'm hating on them. Fuck that bullshit. I've had too many times when I've ordered from their ass where I've gotten my. I tipped decently, at least I thought, and my shit's taking like 20 or 30 minutes extra. Get to it, it's all fucking cold or it's melted and whatnot. It's like, I did it, I ordered the shit because I really didn't want to drive, 10 miles away.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you, do your job.
Yeah.
Do your fucking job.
Yeah. Also, there's controversy with Rogue Energy now. Apparently, Rogue sent out an email saying, "Hey, how come you guys aren't ordering Rogue Energy really and stuff like that?" And a lot of people were saying, "Really?
Did they really say it like that? Because it sounds like a desperate girlfriend. Why don't you call me anymore, huh? Why don't you call me?
Well, hold up. I can pull up the email.
I've seen TikToks about it, and I think they read the email. They're like, "Hey, we've noticed you're not ordering.
Yeah.
Rogue. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, why am I spending $35 on a tiny tub of bullshit?"
Yeah. Rogue is also, now that their like sales are kind of down, they just offered a coupon. Also use code chamber. Code chamber
or code TLA.
For Rogue Energy. But yeah, they're offering. They sent me a code to get 50% off of cans, off of their carbonated can soda energy drinks. So they sent me one for that, and they also sent me an email, like a survey asking, what do we think about the status of Rogue and the decline in orders. And also, my problem is they took a lot of the flavors that I like away. That's kind of why I don't really order a lot of them.
I don't think I could have any of that shit anyway.
I mean, they have.
You can do the hydration ones.
Yeah, that's just glorified Gatorade, if anything. So
but
you can do that.
It depends on the amount of sugar,
Well, like I said,
gotta watch everything I drink, because of
diabetes.
Well, like I said, you need to. They have things that tell you what the sugar intake and all that on there, the calories and all that. So you can look and see what you like and choose what you want to try and stuff. Even when
what I like.
Even when you buy the sample packs, they have information on them too, which tells you.
What I really like, Chamber, is a nice Asian woman about 5'8" to 6 foot. This is an impossible thing here, but red, natural red hair, blue eyes. No, fuck that, green eyes,
Okay.
thick thighs, and just like, oh yes, daddy, I love you. Come here.
You're looking for a unicorn, which does not exist. I hate to tell you. I could find you that, but it's not gonna be real red hair and real blue eyes.
Listen, more and more people fuck every day. He just has to wait. Yeah. And unfortunately, 18 years after that. But still, unless he's at Diddy's house.
There's been some weird
right on into that shit.
There's been some weird mixes of the race. I never thought I would ever hear this combination, but Mexican Australian.
That's got to be crazy.
Yeah, apparently there's a woman from Australia who met a dude online who was one of my students.
I just punched the fuck out of that kangaroo, Holmes.
Yeah. One of my students, he's half Aussie and half Mexican because his dad flew Aussie chick over here.
That's hilarious.
And fucked her. They created a baby, and it was him.
I can just imagine.
That was kind of weird.
I can just imagine him like having an Australian accent, but saying all the things that like Mexicans say, like Holmes, like how I just said, like I just punched the kangaroo, Holmes. Like you gotta say it in an Australian accent though.
Kangaroo Holmes, yeah. Orderly Holmes.
Can you imagine?
How would you say orderly in an Australian accent?
Orderly chief.
Could you imagine? Like
by Saif.
I don't know, like
a Barbie essay.
Imagine someone like Crocodile Dundee. But dressed as a fucking cholo, wearing the the one or two buttons on the top of the flannel, the fucking bandana.
Now that's a knife, Holmes.
You're like, that's not a knife. This is a knife, Holmes. Yeah, like that.
No, wait a minute. Would an Australian Mexican they hold the knife like this, or would they hold it like you're supposed to, like
probably like that, probably on the side,
or no, they'd probably hold it out.
It'd be like this, like some weird shit, just with the pinky.
Actually, they probably, if they held it like this, they turn it to the side so they could be like.
Yo.
But I mean, every day there's some weird creations. I never thought I'd see a Mexican Aussie, but that's a combination I never thought. So I mean, like I mean, just like an African Jew, there's African Jews out there. I didn't know that was a thing either.
The thing I'm still surprised about is I never thought in my life I'd meet an Armenian, and here's one now, and I'm very disappointed.
You know what's gonna be neat is when Armenians fucking realize that, hey, Mexicans are just like them, and they start procreating with the Mexicans and make Mexamenians.
We are nowhere near the culture. Actually, the only thing that's similar about us and Mexicans is our music. That's it. That's like the only thing.
What if like Africans and Armenians got together? Armenians.
I don't think it would work.
I don't know. You never know.
Armenians are historically very racist towards Africans, so that's
not a thing. You never know. They might fucking just be like, you know what? Why we beefing? Why we feuding? Let's get together. Let's make a baby.
I wonder what that would do, though, because Armenians are olive. Armenians are olive. And Africans are dark ass brown. I wonder what they would come out as, because it wouldn't really be like the off-white baby. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be like a mixed race baby, like black and white. It'd be a little bit different. I wonder what it would look like.
Y'all making Afromenians, dude.
Kind of greenish.
And then what if the Chinese said, "Fuck it, we just gonna get with we just gonna get with the Mexicans and make some Chinese-akins or something."
Chinese-akins.
Mexicans, And the Japanese, they say they gonna get with the Italians. Make some Japanese, Italian kids and stuff. I mean, those
are some wild combinations.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's some out there though. If you, I bet you, if you search it, it's really not that crazy though now. Because like, if you really think about it, like there are so many people that like ever since like I would say like our generation and the one after has pretty much gotten rid of racism. I think the only ones that are kind of holding on to that are the ones before millennials, kind of. Like those are like the last ones that are like, fuck those other people who are a different color.
I'm telling you, now next thing you know, Brazilians and Germans
there's a lot
are
of
fucking.
I'm sure there's
Argentinians.
I mean, Germans and Brazilians are already fucking. You know that, right?
They could be. I'm just saying, like the whole.
You understand, like you understand, like almost the entire. the entire hold on, you understand that like
No, I don't
a
understand
really good portion of the Nazi regiment soldiers fled to Brazil, right? There's like an entire
it was Argentina.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure. Is it Argentina?
I've watched enough of the Hitler channel to know it's Argentina.
Okay, well, still, they're over there. There's a whole lot of them down in South America. There's just a ton of them. They're all there, and they're spawned too. They're mostly dead.
Towns.
Yeah, they have like legit towns and like just dedicated to them.
Exact carbon copies of like German towns.
Yeah.
Here's a weird mix: Jamaicans and British. Or Jamaican and Japanese, or
I feel like you're just naming things that are already there. Like,
I don't know. I've never met a Jamaicanese.
You think about it?
Met a Jamaicanese.
Jamaicanese is crazy.
Yeah, Chinese and Jamaican. Jamaicanese, dude.
Jamaicanese, not sweaty.
Ross said you're Japanese.
Yeah, I mean,
could you see a fucking Yakuza
Jamaican
with
me crazy
dreadlocks? And he'd be all like,
"Yo."
I couldn't picture with dreadlocks, but I could totally picture him with one of those crazy.
I really don't
Jamaican Rastafarian outfit hats or something with a katana sword, maybe.
Stop! I really don't think that's that. I mean, that is a little much, but like, I really don't think that it's that crazy to think that two people from wildly different cultures would intermingle with each other at least a little bit.
It's not, but I think it's cool when you think of the mixes and stuff.
Oh yeah, like, I'm sure they're really rare.
We haven't even stumbled upon it. Okay,
a fucking shiny Pokemon. But
Jamaican Chinese having a baby. And next thing you know, you have a fucking like Jamaican ninjas and shit.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, dude.
Jamaican pot smoking ninjas.
They wouldn't be wearing the all black outfits.
They'd be more like monks, though, wouldn't they?
No, it would be like their outfits would all be looking like the fucking Jamaican flag, and next thing you know, instead of they're throwing ninja stars, they're throwing like fucking joints,
throwing fucking blunts.
Yeah, Canadians, Jamaicans,
blunts like ninja stars are like
In order to disappear, they just fucking take a rippable bong and just and the smoke.
Yeah. What if Canada, Puerto Rico just like really
they just
together,
disappear?
Like, you know. Like one of my friends, her name is Javi. Okay, she's a lovely Puerto Rican woman, right? Beautiful, and her boyfriend is she just married him. He's Asian. I think he's Filipino or something like that. Now think about the combo mix of child that's gonna be that Hispanic with Asian influences and stuff. Like that kid gonna be able to get in multiple colleges all at once. You know. Like that's gonna be incredible when they have a kid. That's why I wanna lay my seed in England, Ireland, parts of Japan, because I want my kids to be multicultural, so they're not just limited to anything. They get into all colleges and they speaking crazy.
I feel like any kid. Go ahead, say it. Sorry.
We're talking about these crazy intermingling things here.
Shiny Pokemons that found out in the wild.
Yeah. There's Pokemon and there's shiny
you get yourself
Pokemon.
A fucking, Chinese and a Mexican, you get yourself some
there are people like that.
I'm saying you start having a bunch of Chexicans being born.
Chexicans.
You have some of the most hardworking, they're gonna be able to do your lawn and all your math.
Like the prime example of a shiny Pokemon, Drake.
He's not really a shiny Pokemon.
He's light skinned, man.
No, there's a lot of them though. There's a lot of light skinned Canadians.
But it's rare because he stood out. He beat the mold. He's a shiny Pokemon.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just because he just got lucky with Degrassi though. They needed a black character and they found one. They were like, oh, there's one. They just picked him off the side of the road.
I don't know. I don't think I could take Aubrey Graham.
And they were like, wait, hold on. We have to make it seem like he's not like a thug. He has to be a nice kid. Let's put him in a wheelchair so he can't gangbang.
I don't think I could take Aubrey Graham seriously as a gangster rapper. That's why he changed his name to Drake.
All right.
Just wasn't hard enough. You know, he said, "My name is Aubrey Drake Graham." It's like, dude, I wouldn't even call myself Aubrey or Graham. I just like changed my name completely.
I would have gone once I was 18. I would have gone. I don't know what they do in Canada to.
Yeah.
They go see the king and queen of Canada or the prime minister of Montreal or whatever South Park said about him.
Yeah.
And been like, I need to legally change my name. So I'd be like, yeah, I don't ever want to be called Aubrey again.
Yeah, if I had a name like it's like this one, I had this one friend. Okay, he's a brother too, and his name is
a brother.
Courtney.
He's a brother.
He's a brother, and his name was Courtney.
Word.
I was like, your name is Courtney? He's like, yeah, man. And then he told me, I was like, did your mom want girls? And he's like, yeah. And he was laughing. He's like, you're gonna laugh when I tell you this. He's like, you won't believe what my brother's name is. I was like, what is it? He said Ashley. We all busted out laughing on stream.
That's crazy.
On the mics, right? We weren't streaming, but we were just on mics.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, you mad cool, but I can't call you Courtney, man. I can't call you Courtney, man.
Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah, there was a dude at my job.
I was like, I'm gonna call you Cortez.
It was weird because there was a dude at my job who was named Courtney. He was like this old white dude, and I'm dating a Courtney, so it was just really weird because I would be on the phone with him or whatever, and be like, all right, I'll be in work in a little bit, Court, and he'd be like, who the fuck are you talking to? I was like, Courtney, and he'd be like, guy at work, not you.
Yeah, he's like, no, he's like, I'm Courtney. And it's like,
yeah.
And then it's like, oh, talk to the other dude. Yep.
I think if you say Courtney a few more times, she might actually call you.
She might. I might summon her.
Speak her name, and she will appear.
Kind of like Beetlejuice.
I'm in the middle of a podcast, baby. Yeah, imagine.
Dom was gonna stop like he always is, and he's gonna go, hey, baby.
Yeah. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. What you doing?
That's classic.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you where I got that from? Why I started calling her? Why I started saying that to her?
No.
So this was the thing, right? So I fucking Tyler and Adriana, who is my uncle and his wife, started dating like somewhere around the time when like I moved into their house. So my uncle thought it would be funny to fucking have the Johnny Bravo, hey baby, every single time Adriana texts him, I mean. So like it was just a thing that would happen all the time. And he never said it to Adriana, like they were dating at the time, not married. But like he never said it to her physically, but like every time the text came through, it was like, hey, baby. It would just say that all the time. So then once I started dating Courtney, like we would hear it all the time, and she heard it one time and she was like, that's funny. I love Johnny Bravo. Hey, baby. And then I just started, like one day I was like, do it, but I said it like that one day as a joke, and I was like, hey, baby. It's just like, it's not the same when you do it. And I was like, all right, I'll make it my own. And I just went, hey, baby. And I just did that. And she was like, that's great. So I've just been doing that ever since.
You want to hear something funny? The Snyder Cut is one of the reasons why I bought a 4K TV.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Not me. But I bought one because, fuck it, I wanted one. I wanted to be able to play, like, when I first moved in here, I wanted to be able to play my Xbox games to their fullest, graphic capability and be able to see them properly on a good TV.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
Later on, when I got a PS4 Pro, I wanted the same thing.
Well, when I was buying the PS5, I wanted a 4K TV. I didn't want to get other thing. I was like, I want a 4K TV. I need a 4K TV because I was tired of always getting like just a good TV that would never push what I want. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna get a PS5, I'm gonna go all out.
Yeah.
So I bought everything before I bought the PS5. I got the TV. I bought certain things I needed for 4K and just everything I needed to prepare for me getting a PS5. Then I got me a gaming PC before I bought the PS5. And then I was starting to think to myself, well, I don't need a PS5 anymore. I barely touched my my PlayStation 4. I was always on my PC, and then when I got the PS5, I played it when I first opened it, but then I didn't really touch it.
Yeah.
And then the Snyder Cut came around. I watched the Snyder Cut on it. Like, that was one of the reasons, is like I bought the 4K Snyder Cut and everything, and I used it for that. But I really haven't used the 4K TV for much, except for, looking at OBS and stuff and streaming.
Yeah.
So, actually,
I can monitor now.
I just thought of something here when you're sitting here talking about your PS5, and let me just ask you guys this: what is the point of buying any console?
Everything.
Any console when they're all, you have no disk drives or anything now. They're all fucking these digital bullshits.
Yeah.
What's honestly, why am I going to spend $700 on a PS5 where I can't put a disc in and play?
Well, you can.
To where they made the digital so you can also buy a disc drive later on if you choose. But at the time, it wasn't an option.
Yeah, but they still have the PS5 with a disc drive
and physical. Yeah,
but they're going to start phasing those out.
I don't think so. If they do, it's really dumb.
Well, here's the thing that's still kind of confusing me. They're releasing a PS5 Pro. Even though they had a shitty year in sales, they're still releasing the Pro. Now, that Pro is going to be sold in two different ways also. The disc drive is still going to be sold separately, but they're still going to try to get you to buy the one with the disc drive because they're going to promote that one with a bundle because it costs more. So, but here's the thing. You could buy that PS4 digital version of the Pro, and all you're going to do is buy a PlayStation disc drive attached to it. Shouldn't it be a different version of a disc drive if it's a Pro version, but you're buying a PS5 version of a attachable disc drive to it? That doesn't make sense to me. I'm still kind of confused on how they're doing all this shit. Like, is it the console that's just upgraded, or is the disc drive upgraded too, and all this other stuff with it? They're still confusing me with a lot of things with the PlayStation, like, plus I don't even think the PS5 Pro is really worth it now, because all it is really basically from my thing is, instead of you choosing performance versus like they said, it's called performance or quality. Performance is where you're going to get the 120 or 60 frames for the game, and quality is where you just lock it under 30 so you can get the full beauty of it.
Yeah.
Now, the new PS5 Pro is going to do that, so you're not locked under choosing performance or the other one. That's it. That's really the big main feature of it. It's cool. It's going to be able to run and render stuff a lot better, but I still don't think it's worth the price paying for that, especially since it's going to be 45% better than what the PS5 is. It's not even half. It's 45%.
But
so
like I said, you're losing the disc drive. Like I said, not just the PlayStation, because they did the same shit with Xboxes too.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point? I know
people can say the same thing about PCs. When's the last time you've seen a fucking disc drive in a PC? You know what I mean?
Oh no, I don't have one.
Exactly.
I had to go buy a fucking DVD drive for.
They're taking a page out of PC's book. Like I said, and like I've had this conversation off podcast with you guys, but I think it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to have it now. I truly think that inevitably they're just going to be PCs, because that's essentially what they're building. They're building just PCs that are just more optimized for gaming rather than for everything else. But slowly, they've been dipping into everything else. Because you remember, like, I think when it was first featured where you could actually download things like Netflix and Hulu on the PS3, that was like a thing for a while. Like, you could start having your streaming services. It wasn't just hardcore gaming. The last time consoles were hardcore gaming was Xbox 360 and PS2. After that, it was all like, oh, let's accommodate for these other things. It's not just a gaming console. It's a family home console where everybody can use it. The parents can use it to watch movies and have movie nights with the kids, and the kids can use it for gaming, or the parents could use it for gaming. It's becoming an entertainment system, fully.
You're right. When Xbox saw the market for that shit, when Netflix was coming out, and people were like, it had a great deal. I think it was like what, $7.99 a month at the time for Netflix.
Yeah. And of course, Microsoft gets their cut of them downloading the app and people using it off of the shows that they watch. Of course,
and
they
then
do.
When 360 was introduced, when you got live, you got like a free couple months of it or something like that.
Yeah, but did Xbox 360 the original one didn't? I know the Kinect did. When they did the Xbox 360 Elite Connect.
I don't remember what specific Xbox had it, but I do know Netflix got introduced on Xbox.
I think it's when
got tackled on later on PlayStation.
Do you remember when like they had the original Xbox 360 that was white, right?
Yeah,
and it was like with the hard drive on the side, and then they released the ones that were kind of like slim, and they had like this kind of angle to them that kind of looked like an hourglass almost, and the touch button. That's when they started implementing that.
Well, you also got to remember, they were also releasing Xboxes. They had two different styles. They had the white one that just had the component cables, which is the one I'm sending you, the older, original style.
Yeah, the OG with the AV cables,
They did a re-release one with the HDMI cables.
Well, yeah.
I had on the Elite.
I had that one. I don't know if it's called the Elite or not. I remember
was it black?
No, it was a white one. And mine was compatible with Netflix.
So they had. So this is what they had. They had the Xbox 360 original white console. Then they released the Elite one, which was the exact same thing, but it was just black and bigger hard drive space. And then they eventually gave it to the white one. And then after that, they came out with the Xbox 360S, which was the slim model. And that was the one that looked like an hourglass, and they came in white and black, and it had a touch button. And then they had the Xbox 360, the Xbox 360 Kinect, which came with the Kinect, and it had a much bigger processor, and it didn't have that hunky hard drive on the side of it. It was actually internal, a real HDD, which was a big improvement.
Yeah, I remember that 360 because they released like a Gears of War version. They had a few versions of it that were really cool.
Yeah, and it was very hourglass. I kind of wish I had it now because I have all three versions of the Xbox.
I remember seeing that one. They had a bunch of different versions of that. They had like a Call of Duty version of it and a bunch more.
The Call of Duty one was probably my favorite one. It was the Modern Warfare 3, and when you press the button, it had that turning on the goggles, the night vision goggles sound when you turned it on. It was a physical sound.
Yeah.
You turned it on and it would go beep.
No. Wasn't it the Splinter Cell one they did?
Nope. The Modern Warfare 3 one, you click the power button and it would go beep.
I remember one of them, but I wanted that Star Wars R2D2 Xbox. That's one I
and you
wanted.
Pressed it and it sounded like R2D2.
That one.
That was dope too.
That one.
They were very, very cool. But the thing is that they were hardcore gaming based on nerd style. Yeah. I feel like inevitably, no matter what, that's just the route that they're going. More and more and more, they go the PC route. That's just what they do. People like PCs. All games are made on computers. Sony and Microsoft were in the computer game at one point or another. Microsoft still is. Sony had the Vio. One way or another, they are eventually going to just start making gaming compatible PCs, and I can't wait for that. But the thing is,
I don't think consoles are truly going to go away. They're still going to be.
They're going to go away. I'm telling you, they're going to go away.
Be a market for it.
There's no reason to have them anymore.
I still think people are going to want the convenience of it being small and compact, and you can stick it.
Have you ever seen a Raspberry Pi?
Yeah. The only consoles that are going to still be around, obviously, it'll be like you can play all your PC games on like. It's going to be between things like a Steam Deck, and a Switch.
Yeah.
Nintendo, I don't think will ever go away.
No, Nintendo will never go away. That's one of those things. It's one of those companies where like it's Nintendo. But PlayStation and Xbox, they're gonna disappear. I know they are. They've been fighting for way too long, and they've been going back and forth over what, and they're eventually just gonna become one thing.
They've admitted, I think they have maybe at least one more console coming out, and then that's it. They said they're done.
Yeah,
I heard a rumor they were gonna stop with this one. That's what I actually heard.
But you can play every single Xbox game just about
on Game Pass.
I have it. I have the Game Pass for the PC.
Yeah.
I can play like 100 or so games on my computer that I can play the same ones on my Xbox.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're just going to disappear. There's really, if you think about it, like aside from the size argument, and I'll get to that in a second. If you look at all of the things that were exciting about gaming, they're all gone. Going to the store on release day is gone. When's the last time you've seen people line up to get a game? They don't do that anymore. They sit at home and they buy the digital copy.
The last time I did a game release party or went to anything like that was Destiny 2.
Yeah.
That was the last time I went to anything like that to pick up a game.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, I went to GameStop. I walked up in there like I was a badass. I had my Hunter shirt on.
Yep.
I said, "Where are my hunters at?" Nobody cheered.
Titans all the way, baby.
There were none but Titans in war. There was none but Titan names in there, dude. No, for real. Maybe one of them was like, "Hey," because I wore my Hunter shirt. I bought a Destiny 2 Hunter shirt because I remember I told you I was committing to being a hunter on Destiny 2. I know. That. But I ended up lying. I didn't become a hunter main until year 2 of Destiny 2 because I know. I'm not gonna lie. I was running that Titan hard in Destiny 1.
Well, either way, we're getting off track. We're getting off track.
Yeah.
See what you were gonna say.
I want the regular state. Destiny 2, vanilla. Titan was hard. Gangster.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway,
get back on top.
I remember. I'm sorry. I ramble on. I'm like that dude from.
All right, come on. Let's go.
We know you are. Come on.
All right. Anyway,
get to it.
Anyway, like I was saying, let me get there, okay? Before I really start rambling on. But anyway, I remember going there and it was just the energy. The party was there. Buy my shit. Got my free, whatever it was, Cade figurine. Hey, Cade. And that was the last time I've been on one. And that was like, what, 2016?
No.
2017?
2018.
2018 was Destiny 2?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
No, I've had
2017
for
2017.
I've had it for a while.
The end of Rise of Iron was 2017. It was released in 2014. Dark Below and House of Wolves came out that year. Then 2015 was Taken King, and the following year would have been Rise of Iron. So it would have been the very end of 2016 going into 2017, December.
Yeah, well, that's when I remember getting it was that's the last time I've been to any release party, midnight release, and I don't think they've done any midnight releases for games.
No, they don't do them anymore. But to get back to my point,
but also COVID played.
There's no point in buying physical copies anymore. None. There just isn't. You can wait for deals and sit at home and not go to the store and get all your copies of all your games on fucking line, right? That's number one. So all the excitement about upcoming games is gone, other than you just enjoying it by yourself and maybe in party chats with other people. All that's gone. Hardcore gaming has not been a thing in a really long time. People have been struggling to find games to even remotely compete with, or to find any sort of thing. I think we can all agree that out of all the games that have been released lately, there are maybe 3 that stand out. One being Elden Ring, 2 being Red Dead 2, and the other one being probably like Ghost of Tsushima, or maybe like the new Last of Us, or GTA 6 has been stirring up some crazy shit. But like, it's just those are really the only titles that have been like, yo, I can't fucking wait. I'm so excited. Like, there's some indie ones, like for example, Iceman can be excited about Squirrel with a Gun. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's not a fucking like super big title where like, oh my god, they're doing another one.
That's not a AAA title. Yeah,
exactly.
It's not a game changer.
But like, what I'm saying is like, inevitably it's going to go to PC, and to go to the point of size. If you think about it this way, everything that is in a PC is in that console that I'm looking at right now. That PS4 Slim, or these, right? This is the PS4. It's taken apart. Right here, everything in here. There is a motherboard in here. There is a CPU in here. There is a GPU in here. There's a hard drive. Every single fucking thing that is in a computer is in that, other than the operating system to Windows. This is a computer.
No, you have the operating system on the hard drive there, but it's the PlayStation.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying other than the Windows operating system. That's what I'm saying. That's the
really
only thing
all you're paying for is the OS system, to be real with you.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. They already do it. You're saying like when it comes to size, like, yeah, I have a full tower in front of me. You have a mid tower. No, I have a mid tower and you have a mid tower. No, I think you have a full tower. But the point is, The only difference is that all of these parts are just spread out a little bit more. Have you ever noticed the amount of air that's in between all of your parts? That's because they made it that way. They made this a certain way. This is a computer. I can browse the internet with this. I can watch Netflix with this. I can connect to the internet with this. I can talk to people over the phone, essentially. This is literally a computer.
Not in Texas.
It's a computer that is optimized for Sony's OS system and for gaming. That's what this is. It's just a computer. Sony is called Sony Computer Entertainment. Microsoft owns all Windows PCs. They're computer companies. They're going to inevitably just make PCs. And like, quite literally, they're just going to have a PC, which essentially this is what this is. You're talking about fitting computers. Laptops are thinner than this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
With GPUs like a 3080 in them. No, they weren't at one point. But if you look at laptops, high-end gaming laptop,
twice as thick as that PlayStation.
Yeah, but now if you get a high-end gaming laptop with a 4080 in it, it's thinner than this. So they've already done it. They've already made gaming PCs that are about this size, and they fold open and give you a whole screen. It comes with a screen rather than this having to be broadcasted to a TV. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
The technology's already there. It's just a matter of them implementing it. But
the only thing
eventually it'll all go away.
My biggest gripe about all digital is like what happened for you guys there on Sony there with PlayStation, where Sony just said that one day. They're like, "Hey, you know what? Fuck you guys."
I think
where they went through and they took away like all those games I forget which games it were that people had. They're like, "Yeah, well, guess what? We're taking these games away."
Yeah.
And you don't get shit for it. Fuck you.
That was the biggest upset in any fucking thing, is that they would never go with backwards compatibility. They did with the PS3. You could play PS2 games on the PS3. The original
they did that
one.
on the PS4 as well.
No, when the PS4 dropped, they took away
everything.
But they did, and what made it really bad was I was excited that I was okay with I still had a PS3. But what really pissed me off is they still had PSN Network.
Yes.
So everything that I bought through PlayStation Network, that regardless of it being PS3 or PS1 or anything PlayStation related, should have tackled over to the PS4.
Yeah, they didn't do backwards compatibility, but they did do it for the Xbox One. You could play 360 games on there.
Yeah,
which was great. They should have done that for the Sony.
Or you could also, at the time, you could play original Xbox.
Yeah, you could do that too. I remember that. It was such a cool fucking thing.
Yeah, but Sony realized the error of their ways, and eventually they started letting those games come back later on.
They did it. Yeah, I thought, because I swear, I thought they did that for you guys on PlayStation with like some sort of like new software.
They did PS Now.
But on PS5, it was like a streaming thing.
It was
which
PS
is
Now.
No more. It's they got rid of it now. It's no longer
they just all you do is you would stream the games rather than actually download them to your thing, which is stupid because you want to know what? Then this is Xbox and PS and PlayStation included. All of the consoles that they make are all made on the same fucking system, meaning that all of the so-called emulators you would need, the PS2, PS3, and PS1 OS are technically on there. We just can't access them. So they put all the capabilities of them doing it because they obviously have to test other games to see if it would work. You know what I mean? It's not like they had the PS4 games ready to try. Sometimes they did, like Destiny they did. When the PS4 was released, Destiny was coming out. So a lot of benchmarks were tested on Destiny 1. But, like, that's the thing. Like, it's all in there. It's in there already. It has the capabilities of doing that. Why take it away from us? You're not losing any money.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. And you see,
it's all right there.
Now, they try to say the reason why PS3 could not move to PS5 was because the graphics card was a cell processor, and it was a really hard engine and graphics card to work on because it was made specifically for the PlayStation.
Yeah, that's code 3. For we don't want you to play the old games. We just want you to buy the new stuff.
And a lot of developers supposedly had a lot of trouble working with that engine. And, well, I don't know if it's an engine, but that whatever it was to make the games. And like, so they were creating new things for it, like when Uncharted was being developed, and when like Detroit 2 Human was being developed, and a few more of these other companies exclusive to Sony were using the this cell processor,
the new engine. Yeah,
it took a long time for them to really get games out to really work for it. The only game that came out right on time that actually worked really well for it at the time was God of War 3. And then they ended up finding better ways to work with it. So then they were able to do it. But other companies still had trouble. Like a lot of third parties who had exclusive things to make for PlayStation, they just had a lot of trouble doing it. That's why a lot of games just ran better on, like, it was... I wouldn't say games ran better on Xbox, but a lot of games did much better on Xbox than it did Sony. But then again, a lot of games did really well on Sony that should have done well on Xbox. So it was just a whole mixed kind of thing. Like certain Assassin's Creed games ran great on Xbox.
Yeah.
But then there was also certain Assassin's Creed games that ran great on PlayStation.
Yeah.
It was like it was a weird thing. Like I would buy Assassin's Creed 1. That shit worked like a fucking champ on
which sounds like what? The difference between AMD and Nvidia.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like I had Assassin's Creed on 2 different consoles, the first one. It ran amazing. I had no problems with it on 360. I bought it on my PS3. Oh, dude, loading time errors, all that shit. And you would think there wouldn't be a problem with it. It's being similar, and PlayStation supposedly is better, but it just didn't run that good.
Well,
but
isn't Sony, like, for the PlayStation, aren't they running like, for their graphics, isn't it running on like AMD? Because I could almost swear that I've seen and almost know for certain that like Xbox
I know now
does
Sony.
NVIDIA.
I know right now.
What console
Sony
is it? I'll look it up right now.
I don't know. Look up whatever. I don't know.
PS3. I know right now Sony uses AMD. Right now, I think they're not using NVIDIA, but I know right now
PlayStation 3 had it on NVIDIA.
Oh.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm pretty sure right now. See what PS5 is running. I think they're running AMD. I'm pretty sure it's AMD.
I'm pretty sure they're doing the same thing because it's a lot. It was much more cost effective for each console.
AMD has some really good GPUs coming that they're making that rival NVIDIA.
Yeah. The only difference between what people fail to understand is the piece of equipment that's in consoles is actually kind of impressive. This is another thing I forgot to mention. You don't need a processor for a console or a GPU. They just get what's called an APU. It's a processor and a GPU combined into one chip, which is fucking insane. But yeah, so that's what they do now.
Yeah.
But you can. I'm trying to look up their chip right now. It's basically just a recycled AMD, pretty much. It's just a recycled AMD, but that's pretty much what it is. And what's crazy about and I learned this when I was taking apart PS4s and stuff and like fucking around with them. If I wanted to replace the chip, I can't. It's impossible. You need a specific machine in order to do it. So you know how
that I'm used to using.
You know how like a CPU has all of those pins and they have to go into those pins when you put them into your PC, like when you put the lever down, all of those pins need to go into those slots. On PS4, those pins, each individual one is soldered to the board.
Yeah.
Fucking one with meticulous machine precision.
What it is, okay? I can speak on this because this is the type of shit I do.
Yeah, you do this for work. Yeah.
They are known as a BGA, which is called a ball grid array. So there's hundreds of little solder balls on the back of that.
Yes.
And it gets put down by a machine with precision, and it drops like a nozzle over it, and it just basically dumps heat right over that. And once they all reach their melting point, because like I said, I used to fix things like this. You can watch the solder would collapse, and they all just go bloop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's literally impossible to replace unless you have a machine like that.
You have to have the specific machine, and like literally those parts are literally one and done. If you fuck up, part's done.
Yeah, it's over.
They have some where you could, if you wanted to, remove all the solder from the back of the part. You'd have to get solder paste and stencils and stuff, and you could probably reball the part and try again. But a lot of those, they're one and done. If you fuck up, part's done. You're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's why when you have consoles like that, that's why when they call it blue light of death or red ring, it really is. That whole motherboard has to be trashed. There's no fucking way you're replacing it. You just have to get a whole new motherboard with a new working chip. There's no other way to do it.
Because like with the red ring, it was the solder that was on the back side of the CPUs was terrible. So after so much time of them being heated up like that, the solder joints would break, and then eventually the heat would also warp the motherboard. And
yep,
I looked up the PS4 and PS5 and then Series X processors. They're all using AMD and Sony. The PS5
CPU.
And the Xbox,
you said processors. What about GPU?
Yeah, I didn't look that up. I just looked up.
Oh, we were looking for GPU.
Well, I can do that real quick. But the PS5 and the Series X are using the exact same processor, which is a AMD Ryzen 7 second gen one.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Let me look this up and I'll tell you. GPU, you said?
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't matter. But the point is that like, I feel like inevitably, console it's just gonna go away. It won't be a thing anymore. They'll just make separate PCs in the form of a console.
PS5 has a RDNA 2 GPU.
Oh, whatever.
Which is an AMD.
Yeah. Like I said, all the computer parts are being used. It's all right there. But
my biggest thing, though, that I wanted to say about
Xbox is using the exact same GPU.
Yep.
Wow.
My biggest thing, though, is over digital. Is like I said, what happened with Sony and them taking away shit that you purchased.
Yeah.
And it happened to me in certain games on Xbox when I was always playing like I used to play lots of like the WWE 2K games when they'd come out. There was a year there was characters and stuff I bought for the game, and then all of a sudden they had a falling out with that person. They go, "Hey, guess what? We're taking this away. And you don't get shit back for it." It's like, nah, bitch. I paid my money. I want what I paid for.
That's honestly what Sony did with Helldivers, but it was even worse than that. Did you hear what they did with Helldivers?
The whole Helldivers thing was stupid with them requiring you to have a PlayStation account and all that. It's like, why?
Well, mostly it's like that. Do you know when? So it's so funny. My buddy Justin, right? He's disabled. He has like a heart problem or whatever, and he lives out in Massachusetts. He doesn't really get around to playing games much, right? But he's had a 360 for a good long time, right? He went out and bought an Xbox One for himself. Now he doesn't have internet. Nothing. There's nothing to connect to. He physically could not start up his Xbox One and set it up without connecting to a Wi-Fi connection.
Yeah,
isn't that a brick. Fucking insane? It's a brick unless you pay for Wi-Fi.
That was one of the big things that right when Xbox announced that when they were releasing the One all those years ago, that's what all of a sudden just fucking put their dick in the dirt.
Yeah.
And Sony said, "Hey, guess what? You don't need to do that."
Yep. Yeah. You didn't need internet. You didn't need nothing. And that's why so many people went to Sony because it was like, I'm not going to fucking pay. At the time, Wi-Fi was super expensive.
And the PS5
it was like $120, $150 a month for that shit.
I think the PS5 was cheaper. I mean, the PS4 was cheaper than the Xbox.
It was.
One. It was like about $100 cheaper.
The PS4, I think, was $400 on release, and the Xbox was $500.
Yeah.
But here's the sad thing, though.
See, here's the sad thing, though. Xbox, technically, their Series X is really fucking good. It's a great console. The best console they made since the Xbox One. The Xbox One was kind of crap, but the Xbox One was crap because it didn't have a good selection of games. There weren't really very many games.
Well, it depends on which one you were talking about. The Xbox One was okay. The Xbox One S was garbage. The Xbox One X, however, that was the best one out of all three. That was like our version of PS4 Pro.
Now, the Series X that is out right now,
is that their fridge or is that the hot plate one?
That's their fridge.
It's the fridge one.
It's funny how we know him by that.
Yeah, it's a great console, but it just doesn't have games.
I used to call the PS4 a parallelogram. That's what it is.
But
you
now
know what
that
the PS5 looks like, though? The PS5 looks like, if you know Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball
with
Z,
the collar.
it looks like Cell.
Yeah.
It looks like Cell's head.
Yeah. It looks like a router.
Yeah.
Yo,
It
somebody
does look
did
like
the
a
funniest thing. Somebody did the funniest thing, and a buddy of mine, he took a picture of a router with a blue folder wrapped around it. He said, "Look at my PS5."
Dude.
And you want to hear the funniest thing? It looked like a PS5.
Yep.
Like, I was like, dude, where'd you get that? I was like, dude, is that dude? Like, how'd you get it early?
Yeah, it's like a binder.
I've been at. Yeah, it was literally a binder folder, and I was like, dude, it looks just like it, and it was just a binder covering it, and it was like, people are killing it these days with these fucking memes.
I know.
I know it was only rumored and it never came out, but I wanted to get a PS5 when they were first coming out.
I did too.
And the only one I was going to buy was they had that. It was like concept art, really, but they were like, we were going to release the Miles Morales edition. And I saw that and I was like, oh my God, that thing is so fucking slick looking. Look at that thing. And it's like, I want that particular console. And it's like, no, that's not real. I go, and fuck it. I'm not buying one.
They did release a Spider-Man PS5 for the Spider-Man 2 game. They released that, which was really cool.
But you go ahead and
release
Google
a PS4 with Spider-Man. That was kind of a cool one too.
Go Google it. You Google PS5 Miles Morales edition, and you look at that thing and tell me it doesn't look sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I found no reason to purchase a PS5 at all. But to be fair, that's because I have a PC. There's no point.
Yeah. Like I said, I still have.
It's just gonna sit there.
I have an Xbox One S.
Okay, if that's the Miles Morales edition, that shit looks harder than the PS5 version of the Spider-Man 2 one. Yeah. That shit is hard.
Yeah, but like I said, I own, like I said, the Xbox One S. I have a PS4 Pro. I've got a Nintendo Switch. Yeah. I've got a PC.
If I went down the list of all the things that I owned, we'd be here for a while.
I mean,
I own a lot of consoles.
I have somewhere. I still have my Xbox 360, the Elite one.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere still, I have my PS2, the original Fat Boy PS2.
Do you want me to go through all the ones that I have?
Oh no, I know you have you have everything like back to when I was a kid, like fucking Atari 2600 and. I
don't have an Atari. I do have a Super Nintendo though, and I have a Sega Genesis.
I'm sorry, but the PS2 Fat Boy was a thing of beauty.
It was.
It was a beautiful console. Still probably the best console ever made in history.
I'm sad I couldn't use it anymore.
I'm gonna show y'all something.
Because of the fact that the disc drive went out.
Here goes Devil pulling out his PlayStations.
Right here. Oh, this is gonna second. Get the Oreos that I hide from my girlfriend.
Dude, Cardi's gonna find him. Why'd you pull him out? She's watching the stream right now.
That's okay.
She's watching this podcast right now.
This is a great little story that I have just for this in general. So this is a PS2. I had a PS2 Fat, right? And the only reason why it's all eloquently wrapped, it's because, so this one in particular, right, is a PS2 that I watched somebody restore on YouTube. And he cleaned it up and then sold it. And I always wanted one of these ever since I was a kid. It's the PS2 Slim. But it's completely ice white and it just looks fucking immaculate. There is not a scratch. There is not a fucking yellow stain. It's just, hold on, camera. There we go. Yeah. Like, it's just beautiful. It's perfect.
Davo showed me the video.
It's so ice white, it froze the camera.
Yeah.
That shit's icy, son.
Beautiful. So like I'm an avid collector of things, but like this is probably one of my favorite things that I have is this one PS2.
That's a really cool PlayStation.
Because even as a kid, like I had the black one, but I always wanted this one. It's just such a cool fucking look, and I love everything about this.
I don't like white consoles and stuff.
Racist.
Well, I mean, if you have it out like, on your whatever TV stand or whatever.
By the way,
it's the fact that they get so they get dusty and you can see it right away.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though, because
see something amazing really quick about this console that not a lot of people know. You guys probably do. You see that little PlayStation symbol there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it tilts.
If you flip it on its side, you can twist it, and then now it's upright.
Yeah, all the
you do that on the. You could do it on the old Fat Boy one.
No, I know you can, but it's just something that not a lot of people know. Most people just bought the console and played it. But like for people who had real OCD and are like, if they want to stand it up, it's going to look better with the PlayStation symbol turned, and they put little features like that. That's the stuff. That's the stuff right there.
You want to know what I didn't? It took me a long time to learn. A friend of mine showed me when it came to shutting off the PlayStation 2.
What?
I didn't know I could just, go over to the power button and hold it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I know I go over and push it, it turns it on. If I go over and push it again, it would like reset it or whatnot. I'm like, I can't turn this thing off other than flipping the one switch on the back.
Oh, yeah, that was always all the time.
That was always bad for them, though. If you just flipped it up in the back, it was really bad. Yeah. It's not okay.
Well, like I said, I didn't know. It took me a couple years to find out. Yeah, you could just go over here. You push this button for a few seconds, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Funny.
You didn't know that? That's kind of funny.
Nope.
And that's our time, everybody. We'll catch you later.
If you'd like to follow our podcast, we are only on Spotify and YouTube for the time being. If there's any other platforms that you guys like to follow us on, like Twitch or Twitter or Facebook, all of the links will be posted in the description below.